Good day, traders. This is Rich with some price action on the weekend. And today we're going to go over some news trading that occurred in June and kind of give you a breakdown of what I've been looking at in terms of news and how you can take advantage of that going forward. So make sure you subscribe if you're new, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. A few weeks back, I did my first video on some of the news trades I've taken, and this is a second installment of that series of news trading and taking advantage going forward. You have two options that I've been using, which are Benzinga and the T3 Newsbeat live room, and you can see the links below in the description. Check out those two. They will be a big asset for your trading, and if you do sign up, I do get a referral fee, so I just want to let you guys know that, and supports the channel, and I appreciate it. So let's get into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a bunch of trades I've taken in June using news that I got on video. There's a lot of trades I didn't get. There's a lot of losing trades I didn't get on video. So there's a mixed bag here, but it's mainly winners. Actually, it's all winners, but some are bigger than others. And I just want to show you how I've taken advantage. So you'll hear two different versions. You'll hear the Benzinga first. You'll hear the T3 Newsbeat live room first. You'll hear a mix at the same time. You'll see how it rotates and how you can take advantage of both. You don't need both, of course, but sometimes it's best to have the information first, and you'll see why that is. So again, check it out. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see what happens when I take these trades, which is actually a cool look at news trading. So the first trade we're going to go over today is actually two. It's a video I did in the same day, so I condensed it into two. And what you'll hear is one announcement and how I get in, and I'll kind of break down what I can do or what I did on that particular trade. We'll start off with Nike here. It's kind of loud, so bear with me. I want to get you feel like you're trading, like you're sitting there and you're not really doing much, and all of a sudden a news trade kicks in, and this is how you take advantage. You ready? Here we go.
NKE, Nike, reporting U.S. patent, whole ecosystem for making, mining, and trading, selling digital shoes or NFTs.
Nike is selling digital shoes.
Order filled.
NKE.
That's NKE,
Order
Nike.
filled. Order
So here I got in with 500 shares. I'm peeling off quite a bit because it is Nike. It can get a little thin and then all of a sudden just drop off. We're only in for 385,000 shares in the day so far. So it's a morning trade. And then I banged out completely there. Basically on that trade, what happened was I heard it on Benzinga. He was having a hard time getting the information out, which is obviously Nike having a patent with digital shoes. If you've been around in the past a little bit, like NFTs and stuff have been a really big asset to trade. And when you announced digital shoes for Nike, it seemed like a pretty big thing. So I jumped in pretty heavy. I walked with, let's see, how much did I walk with on that particular trade? I kind of closed it out. It switched over because I was, so 67 on 500 shares, not very good, but the move was only about 40 cents. And I kind of was just you can see how I was trading it. I was in, I was clipping out, and eventually I just closed out. It ended up going a little bit higher that day, so there is that. So let's get to the next one.
filled.
It goes right over to the mRNA trade here.
mRNA, Moderna.
So I type it in.
European Medicines Agency evaluating
Order
use of
rejected.
COVID-19 vaccine.
Order filled.
Moderna in young people aged 12 to 17.
So I'm in at 208.45. Very spready stock. Got to be kind of tough on it. I went in with 200 shares.
Do you guys like the next 1 minute breakout?
And I was just able to get my piece and walk away. It actually spreads a little bit further up. Actually went higher, but then I kind of just banged out because it didn't completely move in my direction that I wanted to do. I wanted to break the 209 pretty firmly, and it didn't.
Order
So
filled.
did it take out 209? I think it did. I think it really gets another pump here.
The trigger is 59.
But I'm not exactly, there it is. There's the 209 break. I still have 85 shares. I guess I sold some. And I went to 209.50, 60. Pretty firm move there. And, you know, that's what I've written in my notes and stuff about mRNA. And, you know, you just get your piece. If it doesn't work right away with mRNA, you got to get out because this thing can move up or down depending on which direction you're going in a heartbeat. And sometimes you just got, look, it's at 209, almost 210. I think we're hitting VWAP and the 21 EMA here. There, gets it through 210. Probably should have closed out right on that move there. Still moving up, guys. Still moving up. 208.50, and it's at 20. I put a bid or an offer at 210.50. I don't think it gets hit. I'm not too sure. Remember, this is like early June. I don't really remember what happened. And I'm just kind of peeling off shares at this point, and I think I just close it out. Only a couple seconds left in the trade there. I get out. 145 on that trade. Pretty nice. I'll take it. Let me go on to the next one so this video isn't forever. Okay, so this next trade is UPS.
Yeah, headline. Looking at same-day delivery service as Uniform Papa Sierra.
So I'm thinking about getting in.
Order filled.
I saw it pop. UPS could be a tough trader. Gets
Order
spready.
filled. Order filled.
Sorry for if it's loud or not. I want to make sure you guys can hear it though. Watch this. Still in 100 shares. Not a lot.
Order filled.
Clipped out 25. But watch
UPS CEO says the company is looking
boom.
at same-day
Order
delivery
filled.
service. Uniform Papa Sandy.
Order filled.
That next move was the power of the rotation in the news trade, where we heard it first in one section and then it was followed up by the next, and then you got that explosive move up, and I was able to walk away with $84 on that one. Can't complain about that. So let's go on to the next one. I'm just going to continue here. This is EA. It'll just start playing.
Vice reporting that hackers steal wealth of data from game giant
Hackers
EA
steal
Electronic
data.
Arts, that coming from Vice.
I'm like, EA.
That's Echo Alpha.
Order filled.
Electronic Arts,
Only in 100 shares.
negative.
Order filled.
Hackers stole data from EA Gaming or something like that. I remember this. Just a big flush down for it. It wasn't personal data, but it was their source code data. Big move here on 25 shares. I'm up over 80 bucks there. And then I clicked out. Got 80 bucks on that one.
Hackers.
People did very well on that trade. I was only able to capitalize a little bit. I've seen this thing trade. I get a little sketched out on it, so I just kind of took my piece and moved on. So let's continue mRNA again here.
Hearing about CDC investigating RNA vaccines' effects on heart disease.
Another
Positive, possibly very negative for mRNA.
So I'm like, it didn't flush anymore. It's been flushing for most of the morning here.
Very spread in the Moderna, FYI.
So I was looking for it to flush down before I made my entry. And then, you gotta bear with me on this one. It's a longer video. I'm not in yet.
Order filled.
I got in with the flush at the low here. So that was pretty good timing, because watch what happens here. This is stuff you have to be like really on point and really following your system, and be ready to get out. Like I can lose, I would say, 50 bucks to 100 bucks on this trade right now. I'm only in 100 shares short.
So it goes
I
to
have a
the
little
200.
wiggle room here,
Green takes red at 31.86.
but I'm looking right now. I'm looking for the rotation. Breaks through 216, which is big. Still flushing.
Order filled.
Nice drop in Moderna.
Moderna's
Hasn't
dropping.
rotated. I didn't touch that one this time.
Order filled.
I'm out 50. Obviously, you can watch. Bigger move down. Bigger move down. Bricks 215 in the 214s.
See if we got a flush through low of day.
Low a day at this point was 214.71. It busts through there, and it gets a whoosh. We'll give it a whoosh on that. Boom.
She's still dropping.
There we go. I thought there was rotation on this thing, but maybe I missed it. Rotation being
Order filled.
rotation would be Benzinga coming on. I could have sworn Benzinga came on and kind of followed up the news and gave us that little thrust down further. I'm still sticking with my guns on that one. Don't really remember though, so bear with me. Big move.
There we
Big
go.
move
Daddy.
down. There it is.
There we go.
Come on down. I'm only 25 shares and I'm up 65, 68, 70 bucks.
No, bro. I haven't. Sorry.
So I'm just laughing at the guys that are making up the
Right
news.
here.
Nice trade. Nice look on those.
It's 80, you know. You don't have to be in heavy
Sorry,
on these
guys.
things.
I talked to myself.
You don't have to be in heavy on these things. I believe it gets in the single digits too. I believe it gets like 208 or so, like that. But I get
Order
completely
fill.
out at some point. I forgot when. I guess I totally forgot
I
this trade.
think with sick all the there not still dropping.
I know it's a long video, but I want you to see what the power of this is. What was my entry?
Order filled.
Look at that flush through 212. Beautiful, beautiful. 26. I think my flush was
Market's
here.
just sinking.
216. I mean, this was a beautiful trade. Wish I had more shares. Of course, don't we all?
The market
Anyway,
is like
just that is the power right there. Only $100 on 100 shares on like a 6-point move. No, we'll call it 5.5, 6-point move. Could have been bigger. Could have been bigger, but that's just the way it is sometimes. So let's go on. This stock here, I'm going to pause it for a second, was in play that day and very spready. Very spready. And I heard the news, though, and it was really good. And look what I do here. So I'm down 209 on Tesla for the day. I was having a bad day this day. But then...
RAPT, West Capital increasing the price target from $38 to $72 on RAPT.
Price target increase.
Order filled.
Shares at $38.66 now.
RAPT. Price target raised to
Order
$60.
Boom.
Wasn't that out earlier?
So I was up $100 on this, I think, already. So I made like $200 on that trade, 200 and whatever it ended up with, 225 on that trade. Really quick. I knew it was spready, and I got in, I got out. There was like a 75-point spread, 75-cent spread when I got in, and it just rocketed up. So I was pretty happy about that one. So let's continue on. These are all news trades, guys. All news trades. This is Carve. Could be another tough trader.
Carver Bancorp, ticker Charlie Alpha Romeo Victor, shares ticking higher here, rebounding from near session low. Traders circulating a Bloomberg
Order
headline
filled.
that Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown saying the U.S. needs more black banks. Shares of Urban One, ticker Uniform Oscar November Echo, shares also ticking a little higher here. The stock now over the $18 level, but shares still down about 13%.
I'm watching the bid
for the
support at
session.
89 here.
That's ticker Uniform Oscar November Echo.
Boom. At this point, I'm just trying to get out because I don't think it was going to go much higher. Oh, God. That was like I was holding my breath on that one. That was like why I was like, oh, God. Popped up. It was holding that 14 level, and this is the type of stuff you have to watch the tape. And if it breaks the 14, you definitely want to take a piece off the table there. And then with a spready, thin stock, you just want to take your game. I think you just want to take your piece. Here's DraftKings.
Pretty choppy morning so far.
DKNG, DraftKings getting a defense at Credit Suisse.
BKN
That's
is
Delta
getting
Kilo
a
November
Order filled.
DraftKings,
Delta Kilo November Bell. Defended after.
Order filled.
DraftKings was getting pummeled this day, and the companies came out and defended it. So I'm like, I'm getting in this thing.
Order filled.
also getting a defense at Morgan Stanley.
Morgan Stanley also defended that.
So when I saw that, I was looking for the 47 break here. If it didn't break the 47 on this move,
DraftKings.
and it did,
Order filled.
that's what I knew. It was like, okay, I got my piece. It was down on the day. Let's get out of this thing and look for a new trade. Pretty nice little trade there. Quick $96. Now remember, your size matters. your size matters. So if you're only trading 20 shares, 100 shares, 200 shares, 1,000 shares, 10,000 shares, you can still trade this. You can still trade this. Okay. Amazon, really spready stock. You get the news, you nail it.
Amazon negative.
Order filled. Order filled.
Probably the quickest trade I've had in Amazon before. 25 shares, so that's 4 points. Got $106 on that trade. Didn't really see what happened. It was just a negative news on Amazon. Got in, trusted the system, trusted the guys on the news beat, which I do. Trust them heavily. Now I know I can run into a situation when they're wrong or the information is incorrect. But at the same time, you have to trust it. And if you lose, you lose. That's just part of the trading, right? But notice how quick that was. Probably my quickest trade on that day for sure. Let's go to Netflix.
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 Order filled.
I'm only in 50 shares here.
Netflix,
Pop off
NFLX.
25 real quick.
NFLX, Spielberg Films.
Spielberg signs a deal with Netflix. Seems like a huge deal. I thought I was gonna rip like to go through 500, but it ended up pulling back and I got out. People lost in this trade actually, but I was able to get away with 42. Now remember, I was only in for 50 shares. The news felt better than it was, but I got my piece and walked away. That's all you can do. Got your piece. Continue on. Find another one. Wait for another big trade, and hopefully something comes in. So Twitter's interesting here.
Interesting.
Twitter started to get information out on Twitter that they were starting some kind of subscription services for people, and it starts popping here, but I'm waiting. It wasn't fully rotated to information enough to give me a reason to get in it. It wasn't down on the day, but it was down on this move here. But once I heard the Twitter news come out, it was time to press the button. So let's just give it a second here and see what happens. And remember, I'm sitting around most of the day waiting for these types of events. If I can get
Twitter Tango Whiskey Tango Romeo shares.
I hear it.
Here's a variety report entitled
Order
Twitter
filled.
promises generous
Order
revenue
filled.
split for super follows,
Order
subscriptions, and ticketed spaces. Twitter shares moving over that 63.50 level on a spike in volume. The stock now up about 2 3/4%. It's
Pretty much
Tango Whiskey
filled.
Tango
Probably should have
Romeo.
been in common. Or was it?
75. I think it goes over 64 here. Only 125 left, and I'm clear in the money. I'm protecting my entry at this point. I'm not going to let it go against me, of course. Obviously, I don't want to flush hard, and
It's
you know.
diversity. It's
But Twitter's a stock that's not really too spready, where you can be pretty confident in it and hold on for there you go, break, just a nice little move in Twitter. Could have been in for 1,000 shares on this one and really cleaned up. And only walked away with I think around $80 or $100.
Order filled.
And this is where I really need to get better. Really need to get better.
Is that highest shorted like in the market or just?
There we go. Let me just fast forward a little bit. Yeah, so I just bang out.
GDP this year appears to be on.
So, I mean, look at the candle. Went up to almost 60. It went to 63.90 and turned around and came back to entry. So that's why you kind of have to get out. And I walked with $66 on that. So not too bad. Not too bad. This one's pretty good. But this one I made a mistake on. This one I should have had more confidence just based on what the headline is. You have to understand what the headline is. Is it like a buyout? Is it, a patent? Is it call sweeps? Is it whatever? This one is buyout. When you hear buyout, nail it.
WWE beat him out with a note saying that WWE will be acquired. We believe WWE is too small to go it alone. Interesting things about WWE. That note now from Needham on Whiskey Echo. WWE World Wrestling shares now spiking.
Order filled.
On that note now from Needham, WWE 58.90.
Big move here, guys. That's a point right there.
59.12 now continuing to spike here. That's Whiskey Echo.
100 shares. 100 shares. So that's one of those ones where the volume is the reason. there was only 250,000 traded on it, and I knew it could get really thin, but the news was too good not to get involved. So I got in with 100 shares. Probably should, I walked away at $48 on that one. Should have been way better. There's always the hindsight, but you got to trust it, and I got to learn to trust it. All right, here's a big one. I don't know what kind of day I was having on this one. This is a big trader, and it was actually a big trader this past week, and the news came out, and you got to take advantage.
ALF Alpine announcing $2 million share buyback program. That's
A buyback. Got him with 500 shares on a very tough stock.
Order filled.
Just smoked this
Order
one.
filled.
Smoked it.
Order filled. Order filled.
Could have done way better, of course.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but the stock fucking wow.
Just ripped. Just ripped and halted. I didn't. Once it came out of the hole, I pretty much closed it and walked away. I think they 350 on this trade. This was this past week. Just a monster trade. Just a feel-good trade for sure. When you catch one like this, this is what news trading is all about. I mean, right there, that's like almost a quarter of the whole year for the service right there on that trade. So all it takes is one big one, right? And that was only 500 shares. Tough trader, though. Tough trader. Okay, final trade. This happened the other day. Nothing crazy about this one. I just got a really good fill, and it was very thin. I realized that, and I was as fast as I can get out. I couldn't get out faster.
FULC, Foxtrot Uniform Charlie, price target increase to a new street high of $39 at Steeple from $20 on the positive data.
Order
Earlier,
filled.
that's Foxtrot Uniform Lima Charlie, FULC.
Yeah, thin stock. Only 500,000 traded at the time when I got in it. And it was a pretty good price target increase. And price target increases are pretty good to trade as well. So that's most of the news trades of June. I did have several others. I did have a couple losers, though. Most of my losers were, or I had a small winners between 0 and like 30. I had small losers between 0 and 30. I had one big loss because I screwed up. I got in early, or I got in late, and I tried forcing it. I had FOMO, and that's the stuff you got to avoid, chasing it. I mean, if you get the news early and then you get that secondary push, that's the best. There's nothing like it. Like when the guys at Newsbeat, the T3Live Newsbeat room get it, and then Benzinga comes in and follows it up. Boom. That's just the hammer right there. And I really love it. So here's your opportunity to get involved with some news trading. Not going to guarantee you're going to make a dime. In fact, you could lose money trading the news. So you need to be aware of it. You have to have a fast system. You have to have a pretty good platform. I use TradeStation, of course, if you've been following me. And it's been pretty good for news. And the fills have been pretty good. In the past 3 months, I've had really good success with TradeStation. And I do plan on continuing to trade news going forward. I think it's going to be 60% of my trading through the summer because, we're seeing some pretty good choppy markets. And if you're watching this video a year from now, I don't know what the market's going to be like, but just know this, that news trading is not going anywhere. And if there's a news event, the price actually can totally change on news. And there's times when there's news that comes out that doesn't follow through. But for the most part, news trading, the action is great. And, you have to pick your spots and start slow. Trade with one share, trade with 100 shares, whatever it is that it might work for you. Just be ready to scalp quick, get in, get out, sometimes hold for that bigger move, like on that ALF trade or the Twitter trade. You never know if it's going to continue up. And that's where you can get that bigger move, which can really, 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 pad in the P&L, so to speak. So again, links in the description below, both sites, both Benzinga and T3. I recommend them both. I do get a referral fee if you do sign up, and that supports the channel. No big deal. I just appreciate it. If you have any questions about news trading or any of these services, I'd be more than willing to help you. I just know the success I've had over the last 6 months has a lot been due to, I've had some tough days for sure, but the successful side has been from news. Other strategies have been tough for me, and the news trading has really come through. So again, hit me up, any questions you might have, and I'll be more than willing to help you out. We can go from there, and have a good night. Make sure you subscribe for new. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video, and I'll talk to you soon.